Hi, Trixie.
Hi. Because I've been watching you on YouTube, I feel like I already know you.
Oh, shucks.
You're like, you're the stars of Cat and Pip. It's like, I feel really honoured to be in the room with you.
Oh, shucks. Stop it. I might blush.
We wanted to talk to you about strutting, Trixie.
I know. Right. Okay.
Where do we start?
Well, I've been thinking about this, and I've been thinking about after our phone call, Catherine, about like how you were saying how I've really admired you, like watching you, like, you know, grow from being a teacher to being on the stage full time. And I was thinking about what was it in my development that allowed me to do that. And what I realised is that when I was still teaching full time, I'd always performed, I'd always been in my rock bands, I'd always sang, I'd always been in front of audiences, so that had never changed. But I started working at Albert Schloss in Manchester, which I don't know if Pip you've been there, but it's a bar basically, but they have quite a lot of entertainment. And part of the entertainment team, we're very blessed and lucky to have some fabulous drag queens. And I really felt that working with these drag queens is what changed something. It changed something as a physicality, but it changed something inside of me as well, and inside of here, like both heart and, you know, and soul and mind, because I kind of really admired these wonderful people who were taking this, you know, I'm not going to use the word brave because I don't think they're brave. I think it's a really shoddy term. But this wonderful, like, putting themselves out there by dressing however they chose. And, you know, a lot of my drag queen friends, they don't just do typical drag, you know, they do, because at Schloss we're expected to do character. So they're really inventive. And, you know, like Anaphylactic, she does a mean old lady and she's amazing at it. And it's really grotesque and it's not even that beautiful, but that old lady still has strut, definitely, with the Zimmer frame, because it's kind of it's so inherent to how a lot of performers move, and especially the drag queens, because they've kind of had to step out and go, I am different from the norm of what male masculinity is, and so therefore I'm going to portray myself like this. And I think the moment you decide you're going to portray yourself in a certain way, that's when the strut starts to happen. And that's my first thoughts on it, really.
And Pip's probably feeling really proud of himself because he's just going to say, like, I'm right. This is what I've been telling you all along, Catherine.
Go on, Pip.
Yeah, it's weird. It's the second time today I've sort of seen my biography come from someone else.
I've always been quite bolshy as a person. What I wouldn't say is that I was ever very sassy, and I think there's a difference between bolshy and sassy. And I think now I'm much more sassy. I'm also still bolshy. But I've definitely learned that craft of, and as well, this whole using your sexuality to strut. So
this is saying big things here, Trixie.
Well, this is another big thing for me. You know, it's like when I am asked to play a masculine character and I'm put in a masculine costume, which can I just say is never very often anymore. I mustn't be very good at it. And I can kind of analyse the reason why I'm not very good at it. I think it's because I rely on my sexuality as a woman and my curviness and my wiggliness in my movement and the way I use my facial expression and my shoulders. It's all, even like my upper body, when it starts to move, is all this sexy likeness that is come from this sassy kind of side. And so when I'm told like I can't really do as much of that to kind of portray a male character, or a stereotypical male character, should I say, I find it really difficult because I've become to rely on tricksisms, I like to call them. I have definite tricksisms that I do. And people tell me about that in the way I move, in the way I look, you know, in the way I speak, the way I use my hands. I have these ways. We all have movement that's inherent to us anyway, but I think that mine have become really like second nature when I perform, and sometimes when I have to do something a bit different, I struggle now to click out of that because I've done a lot of similar characters.
I think that's what you have, Pip, as well. You've got Pipisms in your...
Yeah, I'm keeping that. That's going to the bank.
Yeah, Pipisms, I like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, like when I am like that, you know, when you taught me I'm strutting, I got like the benefit of being tongue in cheek about it and really not taking it that seriously because I'm a man. Whereas, you know, if people are looking at me, that all they're doing is spectacle, and you know, and I don't see them in the background. But then we've talked before a lot, Catherine, how you can't do that because you'll get a very different reaction of ogling and that sort of thing.
Yeah, I think that I see that as a challenge and a barrier to exploring sexuality, let's say, because it brings unwanted behaviour. And
people just laugh at me, and
yeah,
I love it.
I don't see. I don't believe that of Pip either. We've not, but that must happen with you as well, Trixie. Or is it something that you just don't consider as a problem?
No, I mean, it is a problem. There's a fine line in the performance world, especially in, you know, the go-go performance world and the go-go dance and being on tables, because people can touch you. It's very different to being in a theatre setting where I'm on a stage and no one can touch me. And you will always get somebody that feels that they can and will touch you. And then that becomes the challenge of how you handle that and manage that. And that, for me personally, is very dependent on my mood. And I'm afraid that some people have come a cropper. That's the most diplomatic way of putting it.
I know, but then there's also a confidence in what you're doing and why you're doing it.
Yeah.
That's there because you're doing it because of your job, of your performance, because it's an element of who you are, because and so your knowledge of your reason why and your confidence and security in that means that you can deal with it, maybe some ways better than others. Yeah,
and I see other people I work with and they seem unfazed by people touching them or, you know, just being inappropriate. And I'm not, I'm fazed by it. I'm totally not okay with it because I believe that it's my right as a performer to kind of be in a safe space and that they should respect that I'm a performer. But there's a difference between people who have got an experience of knowing that I'm a performer in that time and space. There are people that are inexperienced that enter because it's just a bar, you know, and who don't know the boundaries. And sometimes you've got to kind of accept that they don't know the boundaries. Does that make sense? But then I still don't think it's okay. But and then, you know, other times that I see other performer friends really play along with it with people. But I'm like, that takes a lot of confidence. That's like the next level. And I don't think I'm quite there because I'm very reactionary and I'm like, get off me.
Oh, man.
So, yeah, it's interesting, but I don't know, this whole idea of sexuality, and for me that comes into Strut, but I also think there's another side that's not about sexuality, that's about finding your like inner, I hate to use the word soul, but you know, the real internal of who you are, that isn't about sexiness at all, and it isn't about a performance. It's about day-to-day, you know, being, and maintaining that is, I think, the biggest challenge that everybody has.
Do you think that then when you met the drag queens that started to bring this out in you, that it is what was already there in you and then they added extra spice, extra,
Yeah, I think
or brought it out in a way that now
So-
you can play with.
this is an interesting idea, isn't it? That is it inherent to me? Is it part of my makeup? Is that who I am? Or is it learnt behaviour? And I never had it before at all. And I find that a really interesting argument in my own head, because some days I think, oh yeah, I'm just like this. But then other days I really don't feel confident, and I struggle to go to work. And now it is my job to perform. So if it wasn't my job to perform, then I'd struggle to be confident and have that, you know, presence, I suppose. I do think that they did I kind of looked up to them in a lot of ways. I really admired them and looked up to them. And I kind of loved a lot of what I saw in them in terms of the way they moved, because it was very different to how I'd been trained to move. It was a lot freer and a lot less of giving a fuck. That's the best way I can put it. You have to edit that. Not caring so much.
I work with Pip, it's fine, honestly.
Because I'm
I
trained
have a whorish mouth. I'm very
because I'm a trained dancer. I feel that like I'm so stylized in what I do, and I overthink everything. And I think a lot of, and not just the drag queens, but other people I worked with there, they were a lot freer because they weren't trained dancers, but they were excellent performers, and they were confident, you know, women and men, you know, that really seem to not care. You see, I care too much when I move. I'm too bothered about it being perfect and about what people will say and think. And I pride myself on being the best. I'm very competitive with myself and therefore with everybody else. So if I'm on a shift, I've got to be the best dancer on that shift. I might be the oldest then, because I'm one of the oldest performers, because I'm 37 in June, and a lot of them are in their 20s and they're fabulous. But I'm like, I'll always be a better dancer than you. You might have a better arse, and you might have bigger tits, and you might have youth on your side, but I will dance you off the tables, literally. Okay. And I think that this is that bolshiness. This is that bolshy competitive, and because I got brought up as a competitive dancer, because before I did my contemporary degree, I trained in ballroom and Latin and disco and rock and roll, and I was made to do competitions every weekend. So that's very much back in my spirit. And I don't believe in this idea as well of being, because I'm one of the oldest, being too old or age being a thing. I refuse to be told I cannot wear something, or that, you know, oh, well, you know, I've got more stamina than most of the young ones anyway, for a start. I just have good energy levels, so yay me. But I also feel that I want to keep working there, because I've seen other people hit 40 and slowly seem to like not be there. And I'm like, no, that's not going to happen to me. It's not going to happen. We'll see. Only time will tell. But I've got a real, maybe I will change and I won't want to do it. That will be, but I don't ever want to be told I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
You know, it's
I'm only just starting this and I'm already 40. So
I'm 39.
I keep telling Pip he's in his 40 bracket as well, but he's got a year on me yet. Something also about strutting that is really relevant to everyday life as well as performance, and I think that that's also what I'm really interested in exploring, because we don't know where we're going to take this. It might not be that it's to create work that goes on a stage, but we work a lot with people who, you know, where confidence and being able to put themselves out there and having any sense of self-worth is quite rock bottom, and we experience that as well. So I just think that that's this thing that comes with strutting, this concept of strutting that can make a difference in ordinary life as well.
Yeah.
And so one of the things I was interested in asking you about was, since you've become this performer regularly at Albert Schloss and all the other places that you perform, has that changed your everyday life as well, who you are?
Some of the key is about how we dress, because I think it again, it's like a costume. It transforms you. Well done to all those people in the world that can strut in, even in their pajamas. You know, what an absolute honour you've got. I mean, but we're not all like that, and even I'm not like that. I think that even the most strutty of people who are out there performing cannot be 100% strut. I just don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe that Madonna is. I don't believe that. I'm thinking of the most strutty people I can think of. I just don't believe it. But I do feel that I'm much more real now, and I'm more real with my strut than what I was when I was a teacher. I was just angry all the time as a teacher. So as much as I miss helping children and being that good role model in their life, a lot of being in education angered me. So at least now, when I do walk down the street, I feel like I'm a lot more relaxed. So the way I hold myself is a lot more relaxed.
I love hearing what you say about the being real, and how you found that through doing this, and the fact that you broke free of responsibility and hierarchy. And because, I mean, again, I feel like Pip's just going to be able to layer this film with "I told you that, I told you that." Because that's what he's constantly saying. And you know, I wouldn't have put that film that I did put out on International Dance Day if, you know, Pip's been pushing me to put myself out there. And it just makes such a difference. The more you just do things and share it, the little voices are going in your head, but it does help you find out more about who you are.
And it was really bizarre because I was on a Zoom with like people I've never met before, like who were all in like jeans and a t-shirt or joggers, and I'm there in like a sparkling mermaid outfit, and I'm thinking they must think you're a right prick. I'm thinking, but I was like really strutting and loving it, but you know, 4 days previous, there was no strut to me. Do you know what I mean? And she had inspired me because I felt, you know, and then that day it just so happened to be, you know, World Dance Day, and or International Dance Day, whatever it's called, and I thought, you know what? I saw your video, Catherine, and I thought I need to do something. I need to do something, not for anybody else, but I need to make myself put something out there. I thought, if Catherine's doing it, I better do it, because I'm meant to be the confident one. So, and you're not the only person, but yours was one of the ones that really stood out, because yours was just beautiful. It was just stunning. I made myself do it, and I put it out there, and it felt a bit weird because it felt like, oh, I'm showing off. But then I thought, that's what you do for a living. You show off and you get paid for it. So then I had to, all this week, because I knew we were going to have this conversation today, I've been thinking about this idea of like what my normal life is, what my performing life is, when is it all right to show off, what helps me strut normally. All of this is going, I've still not got answers to it all. But one of my keys to it is putting on an outfit that makes you feel something. I think it is about a state of mind, you know, and knowing you can do it. I also think that in that instance is about commanding respect.
Owning your shit.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean,
weird, like I'm not bolshy and I'm not a performer, but then before I met Catherine and found that place, you know, I was very withdrawn. barely went out the door. But I spent a lot of those dark years just watching Drag Race and converting it into my little internal Bible and all these little all the things you're talking about. Your crazy cross-dressing boys is just what I soaked up for years before I kind of like went out back into the world, and Catherine just gave me like a little push in the direction I wanted to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like you've just sort of given us today like just an extra layer of feeling like we can do this. And as I say, we don't know where it's going to go, but
it's very well timed pep talk as well.
It is a very well. We've both had quite a low week, and
Oh no.
yeah, and it's been difficult to concentrate or I don't know, see the point. But now it's just made me really, I'm on it. Oh, I'm so jealous of the fact that you've got so many costumes behind you. I mean,
yeah. Do you want to see something fabulous?
Yeah.
I brought this back from Saudi Arabia. Just got a plan.
We need a wardrobe budget, Catherine.
Yeah, we do.
But I brought this back, and I don't know what it is really. It's like a dressing gown, but it's way too nice to be a dressing gown. How am I going to do this?
Wow, that is amazing.
And it's like this. No, you can't. Let's see.
Yeah. There you go.
It's like this amazing long gown, and it's got big pockets here. It's not got. Whenever I wear it, you can't get a good enough picture, but whenever I wear it, everyone says it makes me look dead fat because it's huge. But I could fit about 3 Trixies in here. But it's just so opulent.
It is.
Why wouldn't you want this? And when would you wear this? Be honest.
To go to the shop.
Well,
I'm so desperate for attention now. Just going to the garage. Yeah, I've got to just put something stupid on.
I do. When I put it on, I feel like Zsa Zsa Gabor or somebody like Totally Fabulous. It just makes. So this is the point, really. Put something on fabulous, even when you're feeling a bit, and it kind of. I have to stand up straight in this because it's so long and it's heavy. So this helps. You can't slump down in it. So it is about, I suppose, having a collection.
Oh, this has been so good, Trixie. Thank you so much. And I really hope when we get out of this, I will be calling you for a workshop.
Oh,
it's so nice to meet you.
Yeah, you too, Pip.
All these things you came out really kind of resonated.
Good. Yeah, when I watched you on YouTube, I said to Catherine, I said, "Oh, he's a kindred spirit, isn't he, of mine, that one?" I was like, "Blimmin' heck." I was like, I just thought, he's another rebel. We'll get on. Rebels unite.
Bye.